Hello, what's up? Welcome to this new lesson when we are going to learn about the anatomy and in particular about the human skull. So we are going to work with portraits. I would like you to learn some aspects that we need to bear in mind when working. Okay, I've done some sketches of skulls you have here on screen. And what I'm doing now is subdividing them by colors to decide more accurately which part belongs to each of them. I'm going to finish coloring them to explain it afterwards in detail. As you can see, the skull is made up of different parts that are very specific when reflecting the face of the person. As you may know, not all the people are identical, so for the skull it's the same. Every skull is different. That's why we need to keep in mind this information to make a good design. A great way to achieve original characters is by deforming them and creating particular features. When analyzing an image, it's important to consider the skull structure because it's going to help us when creating the drawing, the face. Because if we have the structure clear, it's going to help us to represent a better portrait. Well, here we have the different parts I want you to keep in mind. The orange part will be the frontal bone, and this bone is the one that determines the forehead height. Then the nasal bone, and the light blue would be the maxilla. The mandible will be in pink, and the dark blue represent the zygomatic bone. Having this in mind, what I'm going to do now is selecting all this part in the profile skull that I drew before. To represent a character correctly, it's important we consider these parts. Because as I said before, not all are the same. There are frontal bones smaller or longer than others. Then nasal bones also vary according to the person. We can find people with really big noses or small noses. So I'm going to do a small outline to show you the process of drawing a skull with 5 bones I mentioned before. These 5 you can see over here. Great. I think I'm going to change the color. Perfect. I'm going to start drawing a circle, and from this we are going to draw this kind of trapezium. Then we'll be moving to the eyes, 2 other circles. These are simple shapes that you are going to draw it very easy. Then we're going to add some details that will allow us to organize the bones we are going to draw. As you can see, I've already drawn the maxilla, the nasal bone, the frontal bone, and finally the zygomatic and the mandible. The last thing will be the teeth, but I'm going to represent them with this line. So here we have a skull we made very quickly actually. And now I'm going to synthesize it again. So I'm going to draw a big circle, these 2 more circles, and another one for the nose. The zygomatic bone would be this curve, and that would be the upper side of the skull. Now we only need to add this triangular part that would be the mandible. And then if we add simple details, we would have another skull. And this is the result. The next step will be coloring it and marking the different lines. So, as I said before, what we are going to do now is a great exercise when designing characters. So, what we are going to do is, using this skull you can see here, and we are going to deform it, and later on we are going to draw on it. So, I'm going to copy it 3 times so we have 3 different examples. And I'm going to start with the first one. Sorry for this, guys, because I'm just placing them in different layers, okay? So if you click on Ctrl T and then hit here in the mesh icon over here, this tool of Photoshop will allow us to deform the object which is inside the mesh, as you can see here. So the first one is more flattened, and the second will be longer, and the third one will be slightly square face, like a mushroom, almost an oval form. And this will be our 3 skulls. So what I'm going to do now, starting with the first skull, and first I'm going to reduce opacity and work with them in a new layer. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is changing the color to blue because I'm going to draw with a black pen, so I want to emphasize the contrast. Okay, let's reduce opacity. Okay, and we are ready. Let's start with the first one. I'm going to draw an old man because I think that this shape reminds me of an old man. So we are going to follow the lines of the skull and follow the same structure. It is we are going to draw our face following the shape of the skull. And here we have the nose. I'm going to do it rounded. So guys, as I want to emphasize the oval form of the face, I'm going to avoid these straight lines of the mandible, and I'm going to add more cheeks. Let's draw a smile because I want him to be nice and friendly and have this happy expression. Not to do the other eye again, what we can do is press in Ctrl J, copy the same layer we are working with, then right click and select transform and flip horizontally. So it's going to give us the copy, which is exactly what we selected, in this case an ear, an eye, whatever. So this will be the result of our first character. And as you remember, we used the skull as a guide. So thanks to deformation, we have obtained a funny character. We have followed the structure, the lines. So as you can see, it's very useful for when creating a face. Now I'm just adding some other details. But these are just small details, don't worry too much about it. So guys, let's move on to the next character. In this case, I'll be drawing a woman. She's going to have sharper features, unlike the first character. So you can see I deformed the skull, I made it longer. Why not adding a cat eye look and much slimmer nose? As it has a very long face, I'm going to let the nostrils visible. Well, I'm just thinking that perhaps if we made this character to smile, this will be very scary, right? But I guess that each character must be different. So I've selected the half. But it happens very frequently with the eyes that one eye looks to one side and the other to the other. It's very scary. So let's delete it and put it in the direction we want it to be. So I'm going to do an up to because I don't feel like doing a long hair. So now we just need to keep adding some details. And our second character is almost done based on the characteristic of the skull we are using. Yeah, I'm going to reduce them just to have a space for all of them. Okay, and let's move on to the third character. The last one is a man with very big eyes, like the holes we have in the skull. Let's do a big nose as well, And why not doing a smiling face? Yeah, I like it. In this case, the zygomatic bones are really marked, and it's something difficult to handle, especially when working or drawing over it. So I think I'm going to change them because they are very exaggerated. And let's include the ears where the zygomatic bones is. Okay, the ears should be between the beginning of the eyes and the end of the nose, like until the middle of the face. This time I'm going to do the eyes light in a light tone to change it a little bit. And this will be our final character. Hope you like this lesson and you found it useful. See you in the next lesson. Bye guys!